shattered grace, wore every scar like battle paint. They tried to erase my name, my face, but I carved it deep in myth and flame. I stood alone in shadowed halls where whispers turned to sharpened knives, but I held fast through every fall and stitched my soul with rebel light. They built their thrones on borrowed gold while I was forged in fire and stone. They called me lost, too fierce, too bold, but I was never theirs to own. I was the silence they couldn't break, the fall line they refused to see. But now I rise with every quake and claim the ground beneath my feet. I'm right where I belong, on the edge of the sky, with fire in my veins and stars in my cry. I built this throne from broken stone, made exile feel like home. I'm right where I belong, unshaken, unbound. The storm was mine to ride, not drown. Let them watch me blaze, let them hear my soul. I'm right where I belong. They drew their lines in velvet dust, told me to shrink, to fade, to kneel. But I was born of iron and trust, of truths too wild for them to feel. They crowned their queens with silent grace while I wore storms upon my skin. They feared the fire in my face, the voice that roared from deep within. I lit my path with rebel light, each step a spark, each breath a flame. I didn't fit, and that's my right. I'm not their echo, I'm my name. Let the winds howl, let the ground shake. I'm the anthem no cage can take. Cracked earth, neon skies, phoenix flight. I stand in power, bathed in love. I'm right where I belong, on the edge of the sky, with fire in my veins and stars in my cry. I built this throne from broken stone, made exile feel like home. I'm right where I belong, unshaken, unbound. The storm was mine to ride, not drown. Let them watch me blaze, let them hear my soul. I'm right where I belong. I'm right where I belong.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my last stream before, Christmas 2025. Uh, I trust everybody's in the Christmas spirit, getting ready for Christmas Eve. You got New Year's Eve, New Year's right around the corner. It's an exciting time of year. I believe so. If anything, it's a magical time of year. But before I excuse me, get into tonight's festivities. Those of you that know me well enough to know I've been around the racing community since before I was born, and I'm sure it's been all over the news, and that even people who don't know what racing is have heard about the plane crash in Statesville that took the lives of former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, his daughter, his wife, and their son, a good friend and his son, and another good friend. So tragically, just a week before Christmas and just a mere few days before Mr. Biffle's birthday. So, on behalf of myself and my channel, I extend the most deepest of condolences to the families and friends of all who tragically passed away in that plane crash. So, if any of you our church people, pray for those families because this is a tough time of year as it is, and then to lose an entire family like that, their remaining family and friends are gonna need all the support they can get. Okay, enough of the sad stuff. It's, you know, Christmas. I was hoping there would be people in here. Usually there is. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on tonight, different channels, different communities, so I'll just do it like I always do. Even if it's just me talking to myself, it's me talking to myself. I know there's haters out there. Everybody, my Christmas present to you is if you were blocked, you are all unblocked and will remain so as long as you behave yourselves if you come into my chat. Merry Christmas. So I've been sitting here reminiscing. I'm middle aged, not gonna deny that. I was sitting here thinking to past Christmases with my children, remembering when they were young, how excited they would be when they'd wake up Christmas morning and mom, 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 Santa come, and there'd be like presents everywhere because I lived in a tiny apartment, so stuff got spread out so it looked like they got more than they probably did, but I can remember back to even when I was that age and being so excited, waking up on Christmas morning, you know, running through the house, going to wake up mom and dad, like, "Mommy, Daddy, Santa came." And we'd open presents, and then we'd go down to grandma and grandpa's house on the other side of town and have Christmas Day dinner lunch with them, and my other grandma and, my uncle would come down, and it would just be all of us at my paternal grandparents' house, just enjoying the holiday, even though we would have already had the family Christmas party just a week prior, but we just kind of all seemed to gravitate to my grandparents' house, and I enjoyed it. I have so many fond memories. I'm giving my age away here, but way back when I was 5, the hot toy of the season was this battery operated phone thingy where you pick the little receiver up, press a button on the phone part of it, and it would be some pre-recorded message, and it was all, uh, Disney, Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, Daisy, all of the different characters. You press one of the number buttons and play a message. I remember how badly I wanted that toy and how much I begged, told my parents, "I really, really, really want this toy." And, every little kid will say, "I've been really good this year." And back then, I still believed in the magic that is Santa Claus. And, I remember opening all my presents that morning and not seeing that coveted item, that coveted little play phone. All the presents had been unwrapped. By that time, my brother was around, and I believe that would have been his 2nd Christmas, so my brother was a year old. So, there's wrapping paper and stuff everywhere. And, not then, all the presents were unwrapped, or well, so I thought. My mom, being the conniving person she is, had pulled another present out from under the Christmas tree skirt and set it in my lap, and I opened it, and I can remember just, like, squealing in delight. There was that coveted item. I played with that thing for hours on end. I'd go spend a night with one of the grandparents. That toy went. That just that's just a happy memory. Probably one of my happier ones. Also have memories of, gosh, what was I? Oh, 7th or 8th grade, waking up Christmas morning with pink eye because that shit's contagious as hell. And, well, my brother had missed the entire week leading up to Christmas break with pink eye, and then here I wake up Christmas morning with both my eyes matted shut and had to feel my way through the house blindly to the bathroom. But yeah, I didn't fault him for it. It wasn't his fault. He caught it from some kid at school. Hi, Peggy. I didn't see you there. Sorry, I was rambling, reminiscing, you know, happier times. There's always happier times somewhere. Don't know how to explain it. Um, to the two bush campers over on Rumble, thank you for the views. You only don't be afraid to chat. Uh, there's the, oh, excuse me, click the wrong button again. There we go. The link is pinned over on Rumble. Here it is for YouTube. I will pin it as well. Peggy, you missed my beginning or my after the music played. Uh, Anybody that I blocked throughout the year, I bestowed upon them a most generous Christmas gift of unblocking everybody that's been blocked. That includes she who shall not be named, and anybody and everybody is welcome in this chat tonight. You know, this is my last stream before Christmas, and they will remain unblocked as long as they can behave. I did set some rules for my channel. I don't know, Peggy, if you've seen that video or not. Give me a second and I will pull her up. I've been playing around a lot this week with video editing. I'm working on getting better with my videos, and these two shorts that I posted earlier this week, or videos, excuse me, if I'll pull up, show that. I hope so anyways. Let me come on, pause, thank you. Nope, don't you dare unpause on me. I hate ads with passion. So let's get this one. Oh, oh, that's not an ad. Never mind. My bad. All right. Why were you saying goodbye for, Peggy? Oh, y'all, we're in for a treat tonight. We've got the legendary Lightning Viper in the chat. Hello. This is the man who inspired me to dig deeper into the world of music. The one who's given me a little bit of tutelage on the side on how to get my songs out there more. So, Viper, I appreciate you more than you know. And, well, you're just a sweet, sweet person. Anyways, let's see this one. I've got two. Nope, 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 nope. Wrong one. It really does. And being on the creative end of it, Viper, really makes it for me all that more meaningful. And by the way, uh, congratulations, Viper, on the publishing and distribution of your book. I am excited for you with that, and can't wait to see it become a New York bestseller. Is that the one? Yeah, there it is. Okay, here we go. Here we go, y'all. It's not a very long video. It's only 9 seconds, like I said. I'm still learning, but I'm pushing myself to be better so I don't have to rely on others to help me make my videos. And um, I thought since I have more people slowly trickling in to my channel that I would do an introductory video. So I will play that for you.
You found your way here. As more kind souls begin to join me on this journey, I thought it was the perfect time to share a bit of my story with you. I'm a 50-year-old woman from Illinois, shaped by four passions that have been the heartbeat of my life: public service, dirt track racing, softball, and a love of history. Growing up, softball was my summer soundtrack. I played school ball in high school, and I was known for my strong throwing arm, quick feet, and the thrill of being a switch hitter. One of my proudest memories is from the summer of 1990, when my rec team won a national championship, a moment forever etched in my heart. Racing, though, was in my blood before I even arrived in this world. My dad raced every weekend, and I grew up at the track, dreaming of being part of that world. Years later, I became a respected track official at a well-known go-kart track, traveling to special events and loving every minute of it. My kids loved it too, especially the free admission. My love of history blossomed thanks to my grandmother, and it's a passion that still lights me up today. I especially adore genealogy, tracing my family roots back to the early 1800s. Each discovery feels like opening a treasure chest of stories, connecting me to the places and people who came before me. Service to community was another gift passed down from my family. My dad was a volunteer firefighter, and my aunt a volunteer emergency medical technician. Following in their footsteps, I proudly served for 17 and a half years while raising my children as a single mom. Though my body eventually said enough, my heart still carries the pride of those years. Life brought challenges too. In 2004, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease that changed everything. Since 2012, I've faced wheelchairs, relearning to walk, and ultimately the loss of both legs. But here's the truth: I don't see that as the end of my story, it's simply another chapter. My journey has made me stronger, more resilient, and more determined to embrace life with love and creativity. Creativity is my sanctuary. Whether it's photography, painting, drawing, diamond art, knitting, or even experimenting with AI-assisted music, I let my mood guide me to the project that feels right. I believe everyone needs a creative outlet, it's what keeps the spirit alive. And of course, my little dog Gracie is my constant companion and joy. This channel is my safe space, and I want it to be yours too. A place where we can share, laugh, learn, and connect. If there's a topic you'd love me to cover, just leave a comment, I'd be delighted to explore it with you. In closing, welcome to my slice of the world. May you feel at home here, surrounded by kindness, creativity, unity. Please like, subscribe, and share if you enjoy what you see. And most of all, thank you for being here.
I poured my heart and soul into that uh, video, typing it out and going through and correcting stuff. And I I wrote a funny song about YouTube strikes, LOL, just because it made me chuckle. Viper, it wouldn't be you without something like that. I love that. That's a favorite comment right there. I'm starring that one. Oh, um, thank you, Viper. I appreciate it. I, you know, a new channel, just 6 months old. I've been on YouTube for years, just been streaming since late spring. This is just another creative outlet for me. It keeps me going, gives me something constructive to work on. Uh, and I know between your music and your writing that that's your outlet, and just so excited to see where the future takes you, Viper. I really, really am. To let's see here. We've got one over in Rumble now and 3 over in YouTube. You know, if you're bush camping, bush camp. You don't have to hide, but if you want to, I can respect that. All are welcome here. Like I said, this is a safe place, and this is my own little corner of the world, my own little slice of heaven. Viper, before you come in, I was talking about probably one of my most favorite childhood memories, and you know, anybody that shows up in any of the chats tonight, um, I'm going to encourage you. If you have a happy memory and you want to share it, be it in chat or hit the link and come up on panel, you're more than welcome either way. You know, the last, this is the Saturday before Christmas. I mean, Christmas is in what? 5 days. 5 days. Like, where has the year gone? I mean, the year started off kind of slow for me, ramped up in early May when my friend got sick, and then he passed away in towards the end of June, and then it's like since his passing, this rest of the year, literally, I blinked my eyes, and here we are, just, you know, 11 days before the end of the year. It's it seems like the older one gets, the quicker time goes by. I wish there was a way to slow things down. I know it's not the case unless we got Viper. I know you'll get a chuckle out of this one. Super soldier serum. Anyways, you know, my children are grown now. Both are living their own lives. My oldest owns his own home. He's only 23. Has a damn good job. Has a truck that runs on diesel, so I know that's not cheap. A Mustang that he's rebuilding, and he's got a race car all sitting in his driveway, along with a dog. He's living literally the American dream. My youngest finally got his first apartment several months ago, and you know, I have always said that I miss my children being little, being young, you know, depending on mom for everything. And that statement is couldn't literally be more true than it is right now, now that both of my boys are adults and living their own lives. So now it's just me and little Gracie here. Uh, got my Christmas trees up. I was able to convince my kids to come down and decorate my 2 trees for me. I had somebody help me put some various other decorations up throughout my apartment. And, you know, I don't buy hardly any Christmas gifts, maybe for the one lady that comes and helps me for her daughter, or might get a little something for my mom, or maybe a little something for my dog. You know, Gracie, when I got her, she was a 7-week-old Chihuahua pup, smaller than a soda can, than a regular 12-ounce soda can. She was smaller than that. She's now 3 pounds of, uh, what she thinks is pure pure fury. She's as harmless as a tiger in New York. But w- when I'd had her for a couple months, and my oldest, he stayed with my parents so that he could graduate high school with his friends. He'd come down every weekend, and he'd usually have some form of fast food with him because, you know, growing boys got to eat. He come in one day with McDonald's, and he's like, "Hey, mom, I wonder if she'll eat a French fry." Probably the worst thing he could have done, because ever since then, my little 3-pound dictator has been addicted to McDonald's French fries, or as we call them, fry fries. So she gets them maybe once or twice a month, and at, at that 3-pound weight, she can easily devour a medium to large order of fries by herself. I don't know where she puts it, but she can down them like they're nothing. And she is protective over her fries. I was over the summer looking for something, and this dog toy showed up in things that might interest you section. So I clicked on it, and I'll be darned if it wasn't a little uh, crinkly paper toy with a squeaker in it, made to look like an order of McDonald's French fries. So you know what I got my dog for Christmas. She's going to absolutely love it. Not that she don't have enough toys as it is. After Christmas, we're gonna go through all her toys, and we're gonna cut them down by half. Take the ones that she don't play with, or the ones that aren't tore up, clean them up, and we're gonna donate them to the local humane society. That way all them little dogs and cats, when they get adopted, they have their own toy to take with them. Kind of like I don't know, Linus from the Peanuts comic strip with his security blanket. You know, I live on a fixed income, but all my bills are paid every month, and to me that's what's important. And animals have always been a big part of my heart. So it's time to help out the less fortunate critters in our communities. Much better. So I'm hoping somebody will pop in, someone that might have a fond childhood memory, you know. Um, for the first time in my life, I tuned in to the tree lighting ceremony at Rockefeller Center, beginning of the month. It was a pretty tree. It's a pretty tree. The people who worked on it did an excellent job. I just really felt that it was overhyped. But, I'm looking at it on a computer screen. I'm not seeing it in person, and I'm sure if I ever were to be able to see the tree at Rockefeller Center or Rockefeller Plaza in person, that I would reverse course on that opinion. Um, I like to sit here of an evening with all the lights off and just have the Christmas lights on, because it gives the place a more magical feel than instead of plain white walls with a linoleum floor. It makes everything look prettier, and you can really feel the magic of the season by just being immersed in the colors, the sparkling of the garland, the twinkling of the lights. It just it gives off its own aura, so to speak. And I'm always so sad when I have to take it all down in January, because to me space where the tree was feels like a giant hole for weeks afterwards. But then again, there's always the new joy the following Christmas season of getting to dig all that out of the closets again and unbox it all and walk down memory lane as you're trimming your trees. I found an ornament when we was decorating the big tree this year that I got from my oldest for his very first Christmas. Needs to be polished up. It's tarnished as heck, but it's just a cheap little ornament I found at Walmart. Little metal angel that I'm gonna try and get cleaned up, and then I'm gonna pack it away properly so that hopefully it's not tarnished come next Christmas. That um I found ornaments that I didn't realize my mom had given me that were from my childhood. I've got a shoebox full of ornaments and various little Christmas decorations for the fridge that both of my boys made when they were little. I guess I'm a pack rat. I'm not a hoarder. There's just some memories that aren't worth letting go of. And someday when they're older, I'm going to sort through that shoebox. When they start their own families, I'm going to give each each of my boys their own box of stuff that they made so that they can share them with their children, should there be any, of course. Uh, well, I got 3 people watching, so I'm not a numbers obsessed person. I don't like the feeling of feeling like I'm talking to myself, so. Oh, let's see. Not a whole lot of Christmas decorations in my neighborhood. I live in an apartment complex that dead ends on both ends, like a giant cul-de-sac on both ends. I'm on the end where uh, older people and or disabled people live, and then like on the other end is more like family oriented, like 3 and 4 bedroom uh, duplexes on that end. And so I know there's probably 15, 20 kids that live on that end, and it breaks my heart, and a lot of them are young kids. I can look out my window and count on one hand the number of apartments that have some type of, even if it's just a strand of lights taped to the wall or taped to a window. There's three apartments with decorations, and that makes me so sad for those kids. I don't know their circumstances, but maybe they've got a big elaborate display inside that they just want to keep to themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Um, Town where I was raising my children before my health started tanking on me, they do like this big magical light display every year, and they continued it through COVID. They just couldn't. They like take the city park and deck it all out, wooden cutouts, inflatables, all kinds of neat stuff they put in there. At one point, and I know it's probably tripled since then, they had over 1 million individual bulbs in that tiny little park. But when COVID come along, they couldn't allow people to do walkthroughs. So the guy who helps run and organize the light display every year started a drive through, just one street of about 20 houses, to so that families could still come out and enjoy the lights. Well, that one street during COVID to 5 years later has turned into, I think they figured, a 2 mile route through that tiny little town. And if things keep growing the way they do with this light display, they might as well change the town name to Christmasville or something like that. And it's really, it warms my heart to see even the smallest of communities go all out. And they bring people in from all over the country. They even have had a sprinkling of international visitors over the years. So kudos to them. And I love to see, I remember when they first started it, it was a handful of wooden cutouts with a string of lights. To see how it's grown over the past 24 years now, I believe, to the massive display that it is now. So I always say that I dread Christmas because that logistically, like for me, I'm not able to go visit family, and weather permitting, they might not be able to come see me. So I always say I dread Christmas, but I love the lights, the magic of it all. Little kids getting excited, standing in line to whisper what they want for Christmas to Santa. That part of it. That it, it's beautiful and it's magical, and there won't be anybody that will ever be able to sway my mind on that, no matter how old I get. Um, oh, what else? I live on the river here, like my town is situated on the river, and they do this big. It it's a Christmas event that gets held first weekend of December. They call it Christmas on the River, where it's like this big craft fair and other small stuff. Santa comes to town. They uh, the first weekend they do a lighted parade where everything in the parade is decorated with Christmas lights and decorations. And I went to it my first Christmas here, and I loved it. It's just not easy for me to get out, and they changed the parade route from what it was that first Christmas that I was here, so it wouldn't be worth it for someone to push me up the hill in my wheelchair to be able to go watch it, especially in the dark on a street that don't have street lights. That's not safe. But oh, oh, good, I can hear. My furnace finally kicked off, but I love the time of year. I love the spirit of the season. I'm not an overly religious person. I realize it is considered a religious holiday, and I'm respectful of anybody that wishes to excuse me, that wishes to worship any denomination of their choice. It's just not for me. So that's why I always like to say the magic of the season, because like I stated earlier, the lights, the children, the decorations, just seems to make everything come alive. So, is there anybody in chat that would like to share a happy memory from Christmas, or just, say hello? I've got uh 3 over on Rumble and uh 2 over here on YouTube camping, bush camping. Guys, I'm not gonna bite. I'm not gonna bark. I'm not gonna beg. It's Christmas. All are welcome. So even if it's just to say hi, don't be afraid. But if you choose not to, I can respect that. So I'm usually not a big Christmas movie person, but tonight, after I log off of the computer, I'm going to put in probably one of my most favorite movies of all time. Not just a favorite Christmas movie, one of my favorite movies of all time, which is White Christmas. Actually, I'll probably watch the movie Holiday Inn before I watch White Christmas, and then if I'm not tired after that, I will watch Meet Me in St. Louis, like steel musicals, you know, post World War II movies. Although some of the movies I like happen to be pre World War II, but I just think, you know, there were lower budget films back then by today's standards, but I think they were more thought out and weren't as overproduced as some of the stuff that we get today. So, you know, I've been sitting here jibber jabbering by myself for 42 minutes. I've had two very kind, supportive friends pop in and say hello. So, you know, if nobody's gonna come say anything, I'm gonna call it because I still have a lot of other stuff to do before I go to bed tonight. I will say this before I pull up my closing song of the night, that, you know, if you weren't tuned in to the beginning, if you are aware of the plane crash that took place at Statesville earlier this week, to pray for the families and friends of those who lost their lives in such a tragic way. And I hope in the coming days that the NTSB can provide some type of a definitive answer as to what happened, because not only the NASCAR world, but the world as a whole lost a group of truly compassionate, caring humanitarians, and they deserve to be honored. So, until next Saturday, which will be the last stream of the year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and remember, everybody, stay huge.
Snowflakes sparkle, the streets are alive. Laughter ringing, the season's arrived. Stockings hanging, the lights all aglow. Everywhere we go, the joy will overflow. Jingle all day, let the bells keep playing. Hearts are warm and the children are swaying. Jingle all day, hear the sleigh bells say, Christmas cheer is here to stay. Cookies baking, the sweet scent fills the air. Voices singing, carols everywhere. Neighbors smiling, the spirit so bright. We'll dance through the day and sparkle through the night. Jingle all day, let the bells keep playing. Hearts are warm and the children say Christmas cheer is here to stay a long day. Let the bells keep playing. Hearts are warm and the children are swaying.